styling or that isn't particularly standard.
Yeah.
So there is the possibility for this to devolve into a bloodbath with some really obscure picks. We saw it at the end of last Challenger split.
Yeah.
We'll see coming out of picks and bans where this actually goes.
We saw it in the last series as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a very real possibility. I actually kind of hope we do. Those games are very fun to cast.
They're always weird. To be honest, all of today's games have been really weird.
Yes. And it's all started from picks and bans as well. So
today has been so bloody. I mean, apart from that last game, I would love to see like a kill per minute count that we've had here on
just
broadcast.
Like a ticker in like the there.
Well,
that would be great.
Picks and just like that. Picks and bans. Malphite banned away. Could be getting something crazy in the top lane, and now a Rammus ban.
Oh man, got to get that out there.
Well, is this going to be a Fiora game for Sartorius?
Possibly.
Is it going to be first pick Fiora here? We'll see.
Intensifies.
So GP's going to be up unless it's banned. No,
nope,
GP's up, so that could be an option here for Inspire. This is one of the first games of the day. I think you can. It's good flex.
Yeah.
I think it's too strong a pick not to look at first picking. That doesn't mean you should absolutely 100,000,000% take it, but certainly it should be very high on your priorities.
Oh yeah, Corki's up by the way.
Yeah, Corki's kind of fallen off though.
He has fallen up. It's interesting because he had like a couple nerfs, and when we spoke to like pros in the LCS and stuff, they were like, "Well, it doesn't change that much," and like Senpai specifically.
I actually want to readjust my point. So he's fallen off on his priority, still played, but a lot of teams have moved away from first picking him just because the priority of COG and that kind of thing has gone. So still a very high play rate.
Yeah, just to clarify, but he's still very strong, and like in terms of how much damage he does and the role he fulfills, it's still very good in terms of like his ultimate. It was just like, you know, small tweaks across the board, but it stops him from being like 100%.
Yes.
If Corki is open, you will first pick him.
Yeah, 6.2 was very much that.
Yes. But we basically have the appropriate response, which is the Kalista coming in from HUMA. We've seen so many times HUMA like first pick a Kalista for Holy Phoenix and just for Holy Phoenix to go ham. And then we just pick up an early Brom so you don't reveal the solo lanes. So there you go.
There you go. That's it.
You have it.
Picks and bans is done. Close the book. Case closed.
Yeah. Case closed.
We get that stamp, put it over your face this week.
Yeah, can we get a lower photo of that one? That'd be fantastic.
Ooh. Okay. I normally like this setup, and I still do. But there is something else that is required in my mind for Inspire, and that is Engage. I like Corki, Lucian, Janna as a trio, really strong at pushing down towers. But if you don't have Engage tools from either the jungle or top lane, it becomes very difficult if the pace of the game slows and you can't group with a numbers advantage. If you don't have the ability to go past the tower with something like a Maokai or you know, I guess a Nautilus would do it, but it's not available.
Yeah.
Maybe even a Hecarim.
Or Malphite.
You can see on Malphite, of course, but he is banned away.
Yep, all really good choices for this setup. And we just had Kindred being locked in with the Nautilus, so that takes away another one of those options that they could have taken for their hard engage. So now we're really down to Maokai or...
Hecarim is another.
Hecarim. Sartorius has played it.
What else? Gragas, if they wanted to... Yeah, thank you. Sometimes in Game 6 of the day, my brain sees the bans, and I'm like,
yeah, I just see like the upper like 60% of
and then
the
my brain's just like,
all right, shutting off. All right, let's see what they can pick up here. But they do need some type of engage.
Well, there's
just
some catch. There's some catch plus extra kind of wave clear.
Yeah. You can kind of use the Gangplank ultimate as like a soft engage, but
you can ult, get the slow. Elise comes in, tanks the tower after the first cocoon.
Maybe an early raise
some damage, then you jump up. I haven't seen too many people doing that. We
did when we first saw Gangplank. Like we saw.
There were two schools, right? Yeah. There was like the Death's Daughter. Fire at Will, and then Fire at Will raise command school, whereas like you do a whole load of damage and people to catch up. But gone are those days. Oh, we had the first lock in there of Quinn.
Okay. So yeah, back into the mid lane. So yeah, we've actually been seeing more and more Quinn mid lane recently, kind of all across the board, like in all regions. Like Faker did it first, so you know he's the hipster when it comes to mid lane Quinn. But Godbro's played it before. We'll be taking it again in this game up against Cosq. Still no Akali. But we have all of these compositions locked in. I'm just wondering what you're going to do in terms of like actually getting on their opponents. Because like you poke them down, you have a pretty good fight, but are you ever really going to get in one?
That's a
when you want
it. Yeah, that Because it's a similar thing to what MOU's had last week, was you're relying a lot on flank plays because your upfront engage isn't amazing. Yes, they do have the Braum ult to kind of facilitate a little bit of that as secondary engage, but it can be tough. So it's all on execution at this point, whether they can get the right flank plays, look to teleport in. They've then got the disengage coming from Janna on the opposite side, so there's always that tough aspect.
That's true. We actually have a lot of disengage in this team. Just in general, yeah, like Braum, Janna as well. What do we have in terms of engage on? Well, we have Nautilus.
Yeah.
So he is like the king of engage. But I feel like there might almost be enough disengage from like a Kuhn ultimate, from Gangplank, Howling Gale ultimate from Wenelbo. So we'll see. That is our opinion on the competition, so we want to hear yours on Twitter, hashtag IEWin or hashtag HMAWin. Make sure to tweet those at LOL eSports, and we'll be seeing where your heart lies between this matchup, because it was very close last game. I believe it was 44% to HUMA, and slight advantage to IE. Maybe that swapped, as you dirty turncoats have
you got to stop insulting our viewers, pals. People are going to be like, man, that Pulse guy's so rude.
Yep. Make sure to tweet at me with all of your hatred.
Well,
tell me about Pacific Rim.
There is one good thing.
What is that, Stress?
We haven't had a crazy game. This is now a serious, somewhat game between these two teams.
Doesn't mean it can't be crazy.
Right. The picks and bans was serious. Yes. So generally that leads to a more serious game. We do have a Quinn mid. Godbro's playing that.
Yep.
We saw Nukeduck do it for Vitality recently. As you said, Faker did it seemingly first. Faker did it is turning into the Simpsons did it of League of Legends. So
what else has he done that's not really been popularized?
Irelia.
Olaf,
if you remember
Worlds,
the Olaf at
but
Worlds.
That wasn't to Bangkok Titans.
Well, yeah, he still did it.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, Simpsons had some bad series, but they came up with jokes that, like...
Okay. That's true. Oh no, I didn't get to hear the end of that joke. I never know. Damn it, Quinn. Maybe just say it later into the game. Wendelbo and Woolite into the top lane. Are we just going to have a standard lane swap here? What's going on?
Looks to be the case. Looks to be, although...
Are you not taking a camp?
HUMA are starting on the weak side as well. So the fact that I aren't taking a camp, I wonder, will... This could pay off quite well for HUMA. If they go red and then out and down towards Wolves, they should be fine. Because if they swing up into the jungle, they're not going to find a red buff. Which means they're actual 2v2, and that's exactly what they're doing here. So Maxlor and Sartorius are not really going to be able to punish the potential 3-buff start here for HUMA, because HUMA now go to their blue buff, and then will swing down through the red buff, which is what Braum is just looking for. He's watching for the timing to see whether Inspire were going to the weak side or to the strong side. Maxlor now knows it has to transition now into this push onto top side.
I think the timing is good for IE. It might be a little dodgy with these last 2 minions, but I think they're good to go. Now blue buff will be going to Santorin, and Northlands will be going into the bottom lane.
So what happens in this scenario now is the phase 2 of this lane swap should be faster from Inspire. They will determine the lane placements of their bottom lane, and what they've traded it for is extra experience onto Santorin. So HUMA now have to play on the slower side of things. Sartorius is going to absorb this. Wards deeply as well. Just to try and get the read. So this is a ward that Deficio was talking about a fair amount. It's in a very similar position. He talked about it in his warding segment, which if you didn't catch at the beginning of the show on Fridays, EULCS, you should definitely go back and check it. The ward that Sartorius has placed is to give himself extra time to see whether Holy Phoenix and Just Cast come back to the top side, or whether it's Whirlib, and that allows him to assess whether he has to back away from the situation, and gives him extra time to do so.
Which ultimately just results in more farm and more experience, which is very important in the next phase of the lane swap, because getting more experience and farm than your opposing top laner sets you up when you get the one-on-one again.
Feels bad for Santorin. 5 seconds on his smite was left. Cosq takes a bit of a rough trade.
Yeah, Cosq Yeah, it takes a bit of damage there. It doesn't feel that bad. 5 seconds is a long time in League of Legends. If it was 0.5 seconds, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can see it, but you know, a full 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was kind of guessing.
Oh, okay.
I was leaning into the screen and looking at the smite timer. It was a full smite timer. It wasn't the secondary one, so it looked to be around that window as Santorin jumped himself out. Does mean he didn't get that third buff though, so doesn't really have too much of an experience advantage anymore. Now Inspire actually say screw the normal second phase of this laning phase. Or this lane swap. We want to fast push this tower down, and again they're going to be there faster and get the turret damage down faster than HUMA were doing it.
Yeah, now Willib is actually getting there, so I think ultimately we will just get a double tower trade again. That tower will go down, as you rightly said, will go down first. They'll carry on pushing away, but actually HUMA need to do something about this. So just Recast is going into the bottom lane, Nan Santorin is going into the bottom lane as well. How many minions? I think they just have 1 minion. Okay, they're using... I think they're using Campus Tank? No, they're not. Okay, they're just pushing with this wave. Gangplank pushes very fast. With barrels and Trial by Fire, it deals half damage to turrets, but it's still a lot because it's true damage. We just had a Whirlib teleport being burnt for that.
Yeah, and not only that, so Whirlib teleported out of the lane while tanking the turret, so he didn't even show up on full health.
Yeah.
So the turret actually took him to under half health, so I was like, oh, Whirlib, what are you doing? Yeah. This is a rough setup for Whirlib. And now it's Inspire looking to take out the Dragon and pick themselves up that objective lead and continue picking up an objective lead. They're at 2 towers right now. Not yet Return of the King for Inspire. They have, however, Danced with the Dragon.
Okay, so roam up here. I believe we do have a brief pause, so we're just gonna have us real quick. Just be here, you know, chilling. But yeah, it's not all that much has happened early on into this game. So in terms of lane swaps, kind of standard. The big things was just like, as you mentioned, Whirlib going into the bottom lane, not being at full HP. Maybe that could have been capitalized on by IE had they known. But this is also a composition who we said in Champions like doesn't have a lot of engage unless you're landing like a cocoon or something. So it's hard for them to capitalize on those type of situations. So we'll see as it gets into like mid game and late game. That's really when the compositions will start interacting. We'll see like the weaknesses and strengths. To
provide an update, sorry to not piggyback off that, but to provide an update on what is going on, Santorin is having some connection issues right now, so we're just waiting on him to fix that, hopefully, and we can get ourselves back into the game. You were talking about lack of engage and seeing if it can get punished. I was listening. See, right. I could see the look in your eyes. It's like, were you really listening to me? Were you ignoring me?
All right.
Yeah, it is a difficulty. And honestly, it's something that is a symptom that shows after Lucian Jana gets locked in. Like, Lucian Jana is so good at pushing towers, so good at being able to set up those sieges, and especially with the Corki, but then if you don't pair it with engage, you run out of options. You can play disengage all you want, but a disengaging team very rarely will be able to win a game off disengage alone.
Yeah, but maybe if they do get into a situation where they siege and push people away and deal so much damage that you simply can't contest, then okay, you're still picking up towers, but then you hit that really difficult moment when you start sieging inhibitor turrets.
Yes.
And then unless you have Baron, which is difficult as a poke team, then you can't actually break that that line. So that's where they'll face issues. So there are some like problems that they'll hit in like mid and late game that they'll have to overcome. But we'll see. I'm glad you were listening. That does mean we would be draft compatible, drift compatible.
Draft compatible as well.
Our drafts would be so good if we were to like draft out pick and bans. Actually, it wouldn't be.
Yours would be awful.
Like, no, because I played top lane, so
here.
Yeah, I would be like I'm the guy who would determine all of the picks and the first pick and the 3 bans as top lane. So yeah, it'd be first pick Alawi and ban all the natural predators to Alawi. And then there you go. There's a game.
What are the just off topic? We have gone back into game. What are the natural predators to Alawi?
She really suffers against range and people who like kite her a lot. If you can get into melee range and actually set up tentacles and pop your ultimate, you just win.
Give me some champion names here.
So you actually do pretty well into.
No, that you do bad into. I want to know what. I want to know your kryptonite.
Probably like a Quinn or something like that. Graves with the wave push is actually not too bad because of tentacles.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just banking these for when we inevitably play like a play test, and then I can just cheese you. with one of these champions that you've just told me is bad.
However,
so what you should have done there is double bluffed me by telling me champion she's good against.
That's true, but Quinn is a high skill cap champion, so I think I'm fine.
Oh, I never said I'm playing top lane. Like,
he's going to
obviously
sub like Mitchin. It's like, well.
Yeah, exactly.
Warlight had to flash over the minions. Actually got caught on the minions on the way out because of creep block. Double flash from both supports.
He got it.
Oh, he landed the Winter's Bite. Wendelbo is just getting absolutely destroyed by the minion block. Oh no.
That's painful. And Wolf comes in for the kill, for the first blood. Oh, that's the situation for Wendelbo where you just kind of feel like you got RNG'd out of that.
Yeah.
Like the Flash Winter's Bite was good setup for it from HUMA, but Wendelbo's going to be mad about that.
That is one of the deaths you feel really bad about. Because I really, like, both sides played that really well. Like, Flash, both at the same time, was trying to dupe behind the minions so he could dodge the Winter's Bite, but it was really just down to creep block. And that really actually screwed Morsu, like, a couple weeks back when you were playing against Shen. Like, that lane probably would have been more even, but got hit by tower like 3 times because he couldn't get past the minions who had just all linked arms.
Yeah. The word rhymes with jilted.
Oh, Wendelbo maybe dying again. He's level 3 and Woolite's forced to trade with them. Got the concussive blows. That's a lot of Ren stacks. I think one more might do it. There it is. Holy Phoenix will pop Woolite behind the turret. Maxtor even comes into lane, but the Winter's Bite will stop him in his tracks. Santorin will get into this jungle and take away this blue buff now.
Yeah, will take away the blue buff, even gets a pink ward at the same time for it. Multitasking for Santorin here against this blue buff. Will he give it away, or will he just take it for himself? He's kiting it back. Doesn't want to smite it. He's like, oh, I could do. No need to. He knew it wasn't under threat. Oh, Godbro has his Hex Drinker pop, so good little moves by Cosq to make sure that item is not available for the next couple of minutes. That's painful. Cosq's just gonna be like, well, I autoed the minion and then it survived on 1 health.
Yeah, should have calculated it a little bit better. I wonder if he's running Savagery. But yeah, because sometimes if you don't run that and if you're going down a different tree, you actually miss a lot of minions by like 5 health. Because that's how much you get like a feel for it. Sartorius in the bottom lane, Whirler pops the ultimate, but that's a big amount of damage coming out from the barrel and the ultimate, the flash, the auto, and the parlay is enough to take him down, so that ultimately will be a 1-for-1 plus the assist over to Whirler. Godbro picking up the kill with the rotation from the mid lane. You
could hear off in the distance the thud, the pulsating, that throb down in the bottom lane from the Gangplank ultimate, just blowing up Nautilus. Man of the Sea gets taken out by the cannons of Gangplank's ship. I was trying to remember what his ship's called and I couldn't, unfortunately.
I didn't even know it had a name.
I'm pretty sure it does. Santorin, this was the disconnect that we were paused for. So it shall not be felt on the broadcast right now, as we are coming to you live from the past.
Coming to you live from Berlin. Yeah, from the past. HUMA currently have the advantage in this game by 2,000 gold. And most of that's come from farm, I guess. Because like they had the 2 kills, plus assists, and the towers are even. So where did it come from? Not mid lane. Bot lane, yes. Top lane, no. And jungle. Actually, Santorin's gotten a lot of jungle farm.
Are we playing hide and seek with the lead? So, I will tell you... Oh, I'll tell you after this.
Okay, package comes out. Fate's Call. Good spell. We'll save just recast. And tell me, Stress. Where's it coming from?
It's 1,000 on the 80 carries.
All right.
400 on mid lane. 400 on the jungler, already puts us at 1,800.
Okay.
So it's a decent lead plus some minor leads all adding up. There's even 400 on the supports as well. So.
Oh, that does make more sense. I actually wonder how much Wendelbo's gotten from his Spell Thief's Edge. The turret's maybe going down here. Godbro under the tower. Oh, he's actually living.
Got himself away, got that extra movement speed just off hitting the barrel. Runs himself away. I thought it was actually, for a moment, I was confused and thought it was HUMA's barrel. I was like, come on, blow up the barrel, blow up the barrel, you got it. But no, it was actually the defensive barrel placed by Sartorius, saves his life. Has his ultimate coming up now, so if Inspire were to look to fight on the top side of the map with a numbers advantage, which they don't quite have actually, just looking at the numbers. Cosq was looking to roam up, but he was getting blocked by Godbro. I was going to say, maybe they could have looked to orchestrate something, couldn't quite get there in time.
Mid lane. Oh no, the Q has landed on the Kazuki. He immediately have to go for the defensive Valkyrie. Really underrated blinding assault. It's difficult to judge how good it is as a spell, but when you land it onto someone, you have to like know everything that's going on around you without actually being able to see.
Second time lucky.
Let's make it happen. There's the ultimate, and an ultimate in response from Sartorius, and this time I think they have enough damage. The hook even comes in for good measure, and Godbro will get him this time. So second time lucky for HUMA, and extend their gold lead even more.
This is looking good for HUMA. They are in a good spot. Keep in mind, we've said it a lot of times, I know, but this is for the seedings in playoffs. Whoever wins this series will get their choice of side selection in games 1, 3, and 5 in this matchup between the two of them. So
yeah, people will be like, God, shut up, we know.
There are going to be people that just joined.
Yes. So think of those people.
Yeah. People are like, wait, what is this? What is this League of Legends? Yeah. That we probably won't explain too in depth like that a lot. Otherwise, we'd be reminding
there's
people
3
about
towers in every lane now.
League of Legends is a 5 versus 5. We're just gonna play that on loop for the entirety of the cast.
Guys out in here. Yeah, we're gonna be hitting a really good mid-game spike for. I really wanted to say Infinity Edge for Inspire because they'll be getting double Triforce in top lane and mid lane. Just Cast goes in for the engage. That's a little over aggressive. Fate's Call will save him though, as Holy Phoenix was around the area. He'll throw him into the tower. No!
It's just Cast, we hardly knew ye.
I mean, that was like, it wasn't even Holy Phoenix's fault. Like, it's just
no, that was
he had full control. Yeah, he went full Lee Syndrome.
I was gonna say that's like on like Elite Dangerous when you turn like the flight assist off and you're like whoa, just start like flying around randomly.
And then you just like randomly trespassing in a space station. It's like, what? You kidding me?
I wonder if that's the same with like going back to Pacific Rim, whether they have like assist with the way they control it.
Maybe.
It's like the arms start flying around. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I was thinking hard on how to make it work, but
yeah,
it wasn't really happening.
It's just Cast one's round 2. He's like, come on, it was only the tower that got me last time.
He's like, I'll get it this time. Don't worry.
Next time, Gadget.
Next time. Angry Brom.
Go Gadget Rufflecopter. Which, by the way,
Rocket.
if people weren't aware, Corky's regular helicopter, not Earth, not the Red Baron,
that does have a name.
actually has the acronym Rufflecopter. So that's just one of those little interesting tidbits.
But do you remember what all of the words are, Stress?
Well, Pulse, Rufflecopter as an acronym.
I'm ready.
Actually,
I can
stands
tell
for
this is off the top of your head.
Reconnaissance Operations Frontline Copter, and that was completely off the top of my head.
Completely off the cuff. Yeah.
It's great.
Because you're definitely not reading the wiki.
No,
right
definitely
now.
not. And did you know Heimerdinger made it?
Really?
It's pretty good.
You don't say.
For the record, I know it's Rufflecopter, but I was just like, I got nothing on this.
Well, while you're there, check what Gangplank ship is called.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Interested.
I mean, there is also a game going on, Pulse, so
there
you
is,
are actually promoting me not watching the game.
Well, right now, both teams are just kind of poshing around the Dragon area, and the Dragon itself has not spawned. We may have a red invade, though. I actually don't think HUMA will get too much from this. Oh, they're going for a heavy invade. Just Cast taking up all of that culling, and Santorin gets away with the red buff. So there we go. HUMA, 1 in the bag. But when you get into a mid-game where you're fighting over buffs more than anything, and you have so much disengage that we mentioned in Champion Select as well with the Braum and the Janna, like, you really don't get it doesn't breeze a lot of fighting.
I have an answer for you.
All right.
And it's going to lead to many a reference, and I'm sorry, Pulse. So, Gangplank's ship, which, by the way, was destroyed in Act 3 of Burning Tides, is actually the Deadpool.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Give me a crisp high 5 on that one.
There you go.
Nice.
Hopefully you heard that.
Also voiced by Matthew Mercer. I completely forgot about that. Huh. Sorry, I'm going completely off track, but I was watching... I'm going completely off the rails, but Matt Mercer actually does a pen and paper roleplay campaign where he and a bunch of other voice actors RP the whole thing, and it's just like the best group you've ever seen because they're all playing their characters properly in RP. It's like I would join that group, but unfortunately I don't think I'm quite in the class of voice actors they are.
Cool enough.
I can do my voice, and that's about it.
I don't think that even counts. Ooh, package for the disengage.
Hey, it worked for Seth MacFarlane for a long time.
Okay, all right. That works, but we're learning a lot about lore today. There is actually a lot of lore. Lore in League is actually really interesting for a variety of reasons.
For a veranda of reasons.
That's the noise that Quinn makes when she pops behind enemy lines and comes in. It's like
oh my god. I think I need to sit down.
All right. Just like Lucian Ultimate, which goes wafty 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 wafty.
Oh, I'd completely forgotten about that.
Have you seen that GIF of the Stormtrooper? Where it's like, no.
You're laughing so much you can't even explain what the GIF is.
It's the dude with the... I don't know even know what that's called.
Oh, you mean TR-ATA?
Yes, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's
like
a GIF where it's like wafty wafty.
That badass. Yeah. That guy is... I know, I actually have seen the GIF now that you explain it. The one I'm still waiting for was the one of in Force Awakens, the two stormtroopers walking down the corridor and then turning away. Yeah. That's like the GIF I need. If anybody's found that in high quality, please send it to us on Twitter. Yeah. Just hashtag EUCS and I'll pick it up from there. I will find it. I will find you, and I will...
Use that GIF.
Use that GIF, yeah. In copious amounts. More times than Liam Neeson has lost track of his daughter. At some point, you've just got to, like, admit he's just not a... No, I'm stealing somebody else's bit.
Yeah.
That actually
I was actually going to go deeper, but then it's actually
that's
turned into
infringement.
Yeah.
Not only that, but that was like, I was going to steal somebody else's joke, and I'm not going down that line.
That's true.
It's bad.
So in this game... The teams have done a lot of disengaging over the last few minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, we actually hit big spikes on so many people in this game. Double Triforce on IE. You hit like more Malmortis in mid lane. Kalista gets Blaze of the Ruin King. Even Skirmisher's Warrior in jungle, and that's resulted in HUMA and IE just kind of contesting objectives like this, where the objective resets.
Well, we've reached the point of the game that, especially when you're playing disengage, as Whirlip manages to get himself away. So you spoke a little bit earlier about the difficulty of taking inhibitor turrets, and you actually end up in that situation with taking inner towers as well, with compositions that struggle to dive. Because Inspire still have their mid tower, HUMA can't orchestrate side lane pushes, or even clear through mid lane themselves, effectively. And because Inspire can't dive properly, they can't clear the inhibitor towers without HUMA messing up in a massive way. So right now we're playing a farming and scaling game. You can see, look, Inspire are trying to get something from up the side, but they actually don't have enough catch potential here. Janna and Elise just can't do this. And now Woolite gets chunked. They have to back away. Secondary engage tool was used here. Nautilus has TP from the top side, so could just look to go back in. Godbro wants to fight.
Yeah, he will have to back away, though. Just Sweet Cats gets on top of Maxwell. This could be real good. He hasn't used Repel yet, though, I believe, but everyone groups up for the AoE Riptide from Whirlip. Everyone flashes over the wall from HUMA to pick up that kill. Kozq will be falling. Maxwell will be slunking away back into the bottom lane, and Woolite will actually survive. He's out of mana. Godbro is on the hunt with behind enemy lines. He may actually catch Maxwell here. He goes the wrong way.
Maxwell chooses to farm here. We'll see if Godbro goes down and out. No, we will see the Raptors. This was exactly the mistake that we were kind of, well, not expecting from Inspire. Here comes the culling.
Wafty, wafty, wap. Didn't get him.
That was the mistake that HUMA needed Inspire to make, because it brings them further into the game. Again, they can re-establish their lead here, taking down the Baron. You can see the rest of Inspire are closing in. This Baron isn't dying overly all that too far. Forgotten how to speak English. Isn't dying too fast. They actually got that Baron.
Nice Kalista secure, though. Holy Phoenix is caught in the pit. He has to get the Pierce over the wall. Oh, no, he's dead. 400 damage crit from Sartorius.
Big crit. And surprised the Holy Phoenix. I guess it was just that Q cooldown. Yeah. Didn't want to jump over. So all the way back to that bottom lane fight. Inspire. Step up. And then think that because of the secondary engage from just EUCS is down that they can fight this, they don't really respect the TP that's going to come from Nautilus. So Godbro tries to pick his fight and manages to get the blind onto Cosq, reduces the damage because Cosq's solo mana, he can't be throwing out blind skill shots. It forces him to either wait or move forward for the fight, and that's what he chose to do and ends up being in a really tough situation against HUMA here. And from there, HUMA have a good amount of chase potential when it's these small split-up fights, from the hooks to the Quinn ability to vault in and disrupt. And from there, HUMA can expand upon their lead.
I was actually tracking Woolite in that last fight after he had to use the E with the or the potential engage from Zertuicast. So he used all his defensive spells, and he got like a couple auto attacks on to like Nautilus and like a double tap with W with Ardent Blaze, and that was like it. Like their primary damage dealers just couldn't get any damage off.
So you and I have discussed back and forth Duskblade on multiple different champions. I don't mind it on Quinn. I actually think it's a fairly good item because Quinn only really auto-attacks champions when you are going all in. You don't throw out liberal auto-attacks like most marksmen. This way, I think it's better because you don't accidentally use that active, just the ability that's on it. Because it is on a 2-minute cooldown, and it's on your first auto while it's available on a champion.
We'll see how much it does in this fight. He's not quite here yet. Wendelbo will pop the Monsoon, and the knock-up under tower, IE are absolutely getting destroyed.
Oh,
Santorin, Maxlor, he didn't have anything to put some more damage on Santorin. He did have Lamb's Respite. And the sidestep out of Cocoon was really big there. Woolite with the ultimate gets a lot of those bullets down on Holy Fingers before they disengage. I don't think that's going to result in the tower in the mid lane, but
it will result in top.
Will get the top lane.
And this stems from the fact that we didn't catch it on stream because Sartorius, Godbro went straight in on him, used that Duskblade, and Sartorius survived on about 10 health. Really, really low. I was going off the champion markers down the side. Sartorius was way too low on health to actually defend any further. I don't believe that turret actually went down, though. It wasn't taken out. No, it did actually just fall. My apologies. I was a little distracted by the main screen. There was
a fight going on.
Yes, there was.
So Woolite's back in here. Just have the Essence Reaver. It's 25 minutes in. I'm actually a little surprised. Oh, I'm going to hold that thought because Wendelbo is under attack. There's the heal trading back onto Godbro as well. Does he have the damage? Godbro doesn't have any way of really getting out of here. Lands the blinding assault, but doesn't get the damage onto Wendelbo for the kill. So nice pick in that 1-on-2 from Woolite.
I was hoping. What I was hoping there was he'd just run further back. Blinding assault Lucian.
Yeah.
Be by the wall and vault. And just kind of like Jack Sparrow his way. Today was the day you almost caught Godbro, but they actually caught him.
Definitely caught Maxlor. He's going up. He's coming down. He doesn't want to come down, but he has to. And Holy Fingers will pick up another kill. This is really getting out of control for HUMA here.
Oh, he caught Wendelbo.
Wendelbo. Wurlip's hooks this game have been absolutely fantastic, and he tanks up the turret. Maybe staying around for a little too long. The culling will probably get the full channel onto Wurlip. Turned around, another hook. Lamb's Respite will walk inside the circle. And big damage coming out from Sartorius. They get the heal. The bird comes in from Wendelbo, and so many flashes committed. This could be a good chase. Woolite has a decent amount of mana, and also the Essence Reaver. Godbro turns around into this fight behind enemy line. The vault comes in and throws out another blinding assault, but that will be the disengage most likely. Just EUCS takes a bit more damage as the Unbreakable comes up, but we have now finally disengaged.
Oh no, because there's about to be a re-engage coming potentially if Wurlip gets back to base and can teleport in. Okay, his damage dealers have gone back. I was wondering whether he wanted to TP into mid lane on one of these wards if Inspire kept pushing up. It is an option available for them. Woolite's actually very far up on his own. Godbro is going to go in.
Gets a decent amount of burst up, but he lost like 60% of his health as well in trade. That will stop the push, however, so overall that was worth. Gonna revisit that fight real quick, though.
Yeah, this was the earlier fight, so Maxlor gets hit by another hook. Honestly, the hooks coming out from Wurlip have been on point this game. Have been continuing to catch out the targets they needed to. That was the double kill for HUMA that led into this, fun situation of events. Another hook onto Wendelbo. Another
one. Really, really impressive. A lot of the rest of this fight was fairly clean-cut. Good disengage by HUMA. They had to try and do something about Woolite because he was going to kill Wurlip, so they turn around just enough so they can get the Lamb's Respite down, the healing, and keep him alive. They did trade that for the 1 kill onto Kalista, and then now is just kind of damage control, and HUMA played it well. knowing the timing on Godbro coming down the middle lane, which is very difficult to judge still because it ranks up per level. So her being level 13 now, or having the level 2 ultimate, means it's faster than level 6. And we're actually going to have another pick in this middle lane here. Maxdor is moving on to Sweet Cats, cutting over the wall. And it's actually Satoris, I believe, picked up the kill with a parlay.
Oh, TP's coming through. Look at Inspire. They're fairly low on health as it is. They're risking it all for a dragon.
Whirlip's coming in. He has the ultimate, but the Riptide itself does so much damage with the rest of the team. Cosq might be able to go big, though. He goes onto Holy Phoenix, but he's immediately CC'd by Whirlip, who held onto the depth charge. That is a 5-4-1. Whirlip with the triple kill.
Doesn't need to be playing a carry to come up big time for Whirlip. On the Nautilus, he manages to get a good few kills from this fight. And again, it was just a risk from Inspire, trying to go for a dragon, trying to get anything they can in this game. And unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. They'd already had 3 dragons set up to HUMA's 1 right now. And it's going to be an inhibitor tower, I would imagine, at this point for HUMA. They are quite low, so they may stop the push after this inner tower. That is, in fact, what they're going to do. So it's not game-ending for HUMA, but certainly puts them in a commanding position.
Indeed. So we're going to see the start of that fight once again. It was just a Sweet Cats getting caught, but a great turnaround from HUMA.
But then, look, they utilize the GPL here. That's going to become a big part of their team fighting, so that's not available for the fight that follows. For HUMA, Godbro has so much damage right now that it's difficult to actually stand in a fight against him if you're not prioritizing him as a target. And that gives Holy Phoenix, or would give Holy Phoenix, free reign in the same way. And Holy Phoenix was targeted down, Godbro deals the damage, Whirlip picks up the kills.
Also notice how low the Inspire members were.
Oh, he's gone.
He's dead. Bang on the dirt is gone. But yeah, Inspire were already very low before that dragon got started. So that was never really going to end well for Inspire.
No.
But yeah, 6-17. HUMA definitely in control of this game. Depth charge, you can't run from that one. And the hook, he's looking for it, but he may... Yeah, he may go on to Wenelbo instead and maybe get this pick. Whirlip is tanky, but maybe not that tanky.
Oh,
big
the
knockup, 4-man knockup. Godbro over the wall. Cosq gets blinded and a complete, utter collapse and an implosion from Inspire. HUMA, this actually could be the game right here.
That's going to be it. HUMA right now are going to push in with this wave. It is a small wave, so they'll have to wait for the one that's following in the backside of the lane really to be able to close this out, but that is going to be it. I mean, there's just a clean fight from HUMA, nothing that Inspire could have done.
An even better game from HUMA in this game compared to the last one, and last one was pretty damn good as well. HUMA just burn all the spells as they take down the final Nexus of the regular season against Inspire, and will be going 2-0 on the week.
The power struggle at the top of the standings shifted once again. Back to what we were expecting, perhaps.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
Week 4 was a weird one. Looked like things had changed, but HUMA come up big in this series. Locked themselves 2nd place. Millennium had already locked themselves first after the first game of this series. And that leaves us with, a defined 1, 2, 3, 4 now for our playoffs. There was a potential for 10 tiebreakers, but it doesn't exist. We'll kind of get into that completely as we go through the next few minutes. But certainly, that was a lot better out of HUMA. Slower pace, but better.
The TLDR from that is now HUMA have picks and bans priority in 1, 3, and 5 in the best of 5 when we get to playoffs.
Yeah.
And I do want to touch on the fact that our expectations from the start of the split have come full circle and now are where we probably expected to be. We had like HUMA and Millennium looking really good in the first couple of weeks and being like, these are probably our best teams. And then like Inspire and Copenhagen Wars being in the middle of the pack, doing consistent performance against the bottom of the team, and then Mountain SK being down there. So yeah, SK was maybe the wild card in the middle of the pack to maybe upset against like 5th and 4th. But yeah, funny how all that works.
So what you're telling me is, Pulse, I need you to give me the lottery numbers for like 6 weeks from now. Go.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Don't actually go. Don't actually go. It's
if
fine.
I actually
you on
knew
the
the lost numbers, that would have been so perfect, but I don't have them memorized.
Not good. Not good, Pulse.
Yeah, maybe if I could go back in time, but unfortunately I can't. Anyway, with that game complete, our spring split is locked down. So let's visit the standings. At first place, as we just mentioned, is Millennium on 12 points. HUMA just lagging behind on 10 points, taking in 2nd, who own the head-to-head against Inspire, as you just watched in that series. So Inspire will be on 10 points. Copenhagen Wolves will be in 4th, taking that 4th seed. And then, unfortunately, not in pair of contention is SK Gaming and Mouse Sports.
And what that means is, as we're on hiatus next week for IM Katowice, we'll be back in in a week's time. So make sure you watch IEM, make sure you watch LCS as well, as the post-show we'll be doing on LCS on Friday will also give a little bit of a hint towards IEM. We'll be giving maybe some thoughts on the teams playing there. But as for Challenger, we will be returning the start of the week after IEM. So that's 2 weeks from today, with HUMA playing Inspire on Tuesday. And then we will have a Wednesday broadcast of Millennium playing Copenhagen Wolves. So a lot of League of Legends action that week.
Yeah, playoffs will be very interesting, especially after today as well. I want to actually see that rematch. I think it would be pretty cool in a best-of-5 format, but we'll see how it goes.
It may not be the rematch, but if you want to re-watch the game, you can check out any of the VODs, all of the runes, masteries, check out what the players are running. You can see all of it on lolesports.com.
And tune in Wednesday night, 5 p.m. PST, or Thursday, 2 a.m. CET for the latest episode of PTL. Then right after at 3 a.m. CET, the North American Challenger Series will start their final week of the regular season ahead of playoffs, and they'll be starting the day with third place Team Dragonites taking on second place Ember. And that brings the curtains down on another week of Challengers. So from myself, Stress, QuickShot, who also joined us, and the entire Challenger broadcast team, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks from now. Have a good one.
Want to chase. Doko throws out the javelin and he flashes it. Hansama stays alive. Doko gets caught out against the wall, stays alive. Staying alive.
We need either way. We need to take we need to take a quick break while the team set up for game 2, and I need to take a quick break while I can learn the English language. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Coming in with his own teleport. This is a 4 versus 3. Now that Panoy has gone down, but that's both AD carries traded. Ziggs ultimate comes in. That was actually very unimpressive. Now Soren is popping his own ultimate onto Beans, who doesn't have all that magic resist. The Copenhagen Wolves are running over Mouse Sports right now because you get around 600, 700 golds of stats in an instant.
Oh, it's like that. Oh, he got him.
No, feels bad, man.
Go Gadget Rufflecopter. Bits.
But do you remember what all of the words are, Stress?
Well, Pulse, Rufflecopter, as an acronym.
I'm ready.
Actually,
yeah. I can
stands
tell
for
this is off the top of your head.
Reconnaissance Operations Frontline Copter. And that was completely off the top of my head.
Completely off the cuff, yeah.
It's great.
So you're definitely not reading the word.
No, definitely not.
We need to take a quick break. We need to take a quick break.